From NBC News, this is Today with Katie Couric and Matt Lauer.
And the older you get, you unfortunately know that SAG means a lot more than the Screen Actors Guild. They took my joke and they used it shamelessly. Anyway, but do you have to give in to drooping skin? We sent some volunteers to try out a procedure that is touted as a facelift without the surgery, so we're going to find out if it in fact really works.
You walk around like this.
I think it's called gaffer's tape, right?
Is it creams and stuff like that? What
I
is
think
it?
it's some kind of procedure that sort of lifts.
It's got a block and tackle.
It's Janice Lieberman, so she'll tell us all about it. This morning, turn back the clock and tighten up that droopy skin. Our consumer correspondent, Janice Lieberman, is here with the latest lunchtime fix, said to take years off your appearance.
Always so sure.
Okay, hi, Janice.
Hi, Katie. It is touted as a facelift without the surgery, a quick and non-invasive way to achieve a refreshed, younger look. It's called Thermage, and we followed 3 women as they underwent the treatment to see if it really does make a difference.
Retreat. Drink that potion, and you'll never grow even 1 day older.
How much is it?
Well, that's a nice fantasy. But back to reality, we'd all like to believe there's an easy way to get the look of a facelift without the knife. Well, there may be. It's called Thermage, and Dr. David Goldberg was involved in its FDA study.
Thermage is a radio frequency device. That is, it's a machine that actually puts out heat energy. And it actually heats up the deeper layers of skin while at the same time cooling the outer layers of skin. That heat generates new, healthier, thicker collagen. Because we're cooling the outer layer, there's no blister, and you don't see any effect on the outside.
What can you expect to achieve from Thermage?
The goal with Thermage is not to replace the facelift. The goal of Thermage is to take someone who is beginning to see some dropping skin, most commonly in their jowl, and try to give them some tightening.
Do you usually walk in, have the Thermage, and walk out a new person?
That would be great, but it doesn't happen that way. Most commonly, you tend to see the results 3 to 6 months later. Unfortunately for all of us, the aging process just doesn't stop. Generally, people who come in for the Thermage Thermalift, as we call it, they generally come in about once a year or once every 18 months.
Hi, Dr. Goldberg. Diane, 37, Linda, 50, and Stella, 54, decided to give it a try. They let us in on their consultation.
Stella, what is it about your skin that you're not happy about?
I'm not happy with the droopiness in here. As I've aged, I can tell that this is drooping some, so I'm concerned about that.
We call that the effects of gravity. Gravity causes things to drop as the years go on. And what we want to try to do is to give you some tightening there.
Is there discomfort during the procedure at all?
We do use a numbing cream. And with the numbing cream, you will probably find some of the areas that I do, you won't feel at all. Other areas, there will be some discomfort. It tends to rise as I'm doing it, and then all of a sudden it disappears before it gets to be too terribly uncomfortable.
I was just wondering what the side effects could be, possibly.
No procedure has zero risk. And the concern we always have is, of course, that of scarring. As long as you don't break that outer layer of skin, then you're not going to have a scar.
Thermage alone wouldn't do the job, according to the doctor. They would need a combination of fixes, including Botox, for optimum results. Each of our women had their own reasons for wanting the treatment.
I'm here because I'm interested in this. I'm concerned about my jawline and my forehead.
I'm young for this, I realize that, but I just want sort of a refresher, kind of a little bit of a lift.
How are you? Hi.
The doctor did at first recommend a facelift for Linda. He had doubts on whether or not her Thermage treatment would work.
I'm not ready for being cut. I don't like anything that invasive, but I think he can make a big enough difference for me to feel a little better about, a little younger.
Hi, Doc.
Are you ready?
And so the procedure began. Diane had the Thermage and some Botox to get rid of the lines on her forehead.
Feel it rise.
Stella had the Thermage Botox combo too.
Just a little skin rise. When you feel that discomfort, that's the tightening.
And the doctor recommended a trio for Linda, which included Thermage, Botox, and collagen.
Let's go to the other side.
We asked the ladies what they thought right after their treatments.
I compared it to like the branding of a cow, except it's like a pinpoint. So it's sear, 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 but before you're like going to go crazy and can't take it anymore, it goes away.
It's like a little pinch, like a mosquito bite, more or less. But other than that, no discomfort. I feel tightening in the jawline.
It was more painful, actually, than I thought it would be. It really is like a stinging, like a bee stinging, sort of, and then it's pulled away. And there's no pain once he pulls away, but it's quick. so it wasn't so bad. And I truly do see results already, which is tremendous.
So how did they look over 2 months later? Diane noticed a subtle change in her jawline. People told Stella her face looked slimmer. And Linda surprisingly had the most improvement. She said her face seemed more refreshed.
The Thermacool procedure worked quite well for you.
Yes, much more than I had thought.
They also became official members of our lunchtime Fix It or Nix It Club.